life.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
No?
I don't think so.
All right.
There's a lot of them around.
All
There's
right.
Indian names.
All right.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'm kind of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
I think it's just a little bit off of this thing here.
Why don't I just close the door so we don't have the
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, There we go.
yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna. Does it sound better now? I'm just did something. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Let me know if it's still glitchy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So the sound is now stuck,
Okay.
but it is over.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to restart the computer. Just stay on, and I'll be right there.
Yeah,
I'm going to restart the whole computer.
Okay, we're going to restart. Don't go, por favor,
Por favor.
por favor.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. How's it sound now?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare. Sorry, I need to put the fan a bit up because the heat, right?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Tell Tuka you can watch us on YouTube also.
I was just
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Can we keep that door open?
You want to?
Yeah, I think I need some air. Some regular fresh air.
Yes, of course. Because I have been.
Isn't getting tired?
The grill, I have been closed all day long.
Oh yeah, much better. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You need me to go.
Hare Krishna, Krishna. Oh, you get a nice, yeah, great. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Do I say Krishna?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
No.
Hare
Yeah.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Gauranga.
Changing the rhythm?
Yeah.
Right.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Everything is
Krishna,
coming up.
Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Okay,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you.
Duet.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
You want to keep chanting or you want to read some Gita?
As you wish.
What do you wish?
They say yes. Oh,
Tuka.
thank you, Amy and Tuka, and everyone. I don't know the name. Everyone, thank you. Thank you. I hypnotic. I'm drifting to it. The riff.
The riff is quite hypnotic. I'm
Oh.
drifting into it.
Oh.
I'm glad this is available.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Let's do a little bit more chant.
All right, a little more
Because
chant.
they love
this
it,
is so
right?
great. Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay.
We're going a little bit. The color is a little bit.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah.
I'll fix it.
We're going.
Actually, I think it's better. It's good.
Yeah, orangey.
Yeah, it's better
Like
on
Trump.
the eyes. Yeah, it's better for the eyes. It's a screen protector for your eyes.
Okay, perfecto.
Yeah. All right. So let's see here. What we got here?
See, with this color, I cannot read. If you want me to read,
You can or can't.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll change it.
it has to be a little more white.
Yeah. Okay, I'll make it right.
Otherwise, you read.
Yeah.
And I listen.
All right. So let's see. Database. Mm-hmm. So I read somewhere that's science of self-realization. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. The science of soul. Did we finish that chapter?
I don't think so.
Okay, so let's.
We did all of that.
Yeah.
Complete the path of. I think this paragraph we didn't in the
Right here?
yeah
Okay.
Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, this is science of self-realization, and let me change the lighting here.
Or you can read it.
I'll let you read.
They don't like my accent. My accent's a little bit funny.
Yeah, they like it. They love it.
See,
Yeah.
it's so nice. They love anything. So nice. See, I can see well like that.
Okay, good. All right.
See.
Okay.
Should I?
See, oops. Here we go. I gave one away for free so far. Free literature. Okay. It disappeared. I like your accent.
Oh, Amy, but you're so nice. You're always such a nice person. You had a really horrible client today that told me my accent was horrible.
Oh. Yes.
That's mean.
Yeah, a lot of mean people.
A lot of mean people out there. Okay, so in the Bhagavad Gita, it is also stated that those who attempt but do not complete the path of approaching God, in other words, those who have failed to achieve complete success in Krishna consciousness, are given the chance to appear in the families of the spiritual advanced or financially well-to-do.
Oh yeah, we read this part.
We did read it?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, here we go. This one.
The Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
Bhagavad
Gita.
Gita is a preliminary study of the transcendental science of Krishna consciousness, and it is the duty of all responsible head of state to chalk out. What would that mean?
Means like.
Right. Out their economy and other programs by referring to the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, we are not meant to solve economic question of life by balancing on the tottering platform. Rather, we are meant to solve the ultimate problem of life, which is arise due to the laws of nature.
Yeah, let's discuss that.
Sí.
Yeah, this is the problem in the world today is because people don't. Well, actually, the destruction of a civilization. One of the preliminaries which we're in, this the civilization is in a decline. Is the moral destruction, and that's part of the destruction of our society now. Is it's losing sight of God and God's laws, even in the Bible, for all its faults that it has, in all religions there's faults, some faults, but still, there's things about God in there,
Yeah.
and principles and morals, and do unto others as you like to have them do unto you. We have some kind of empathy for others. Otherwise, without civilizations, they decline. They're in the last stages of decline when they turn towards like hedonism, and they lose all sense of morality. Basically, that you could see. I mean, like it's blatantly obvious
Yeah.
what's going on in our society.
It is
Teaching
sad.
things that are very immoral to children,
I know.
doing immoral things to the body. Um, Making people like doing illogical, imbecilic things as good and normal.
Imbecilic.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Like
really
imbecile.
crazy things.
Claro.
Yeah, so that's a decline of a society, especially when society goes along with it. When most of society, yeah. And so that's this destruction. And what is causing that destruction? Basically, you're out of sync with the higher principles of God's laws. And so Bhagavad Gita teaches all about this, about uh, goodness, passion, and ignorance, these energies. And when the mode of ignorance and passion is strong, that's when the destruction of society happens, because that's what it does. It's action and reaction, and you do bad things to yourself and to other people, bad things react. There, you get a reaction. And so that's why we see the evil in this world. It's compounding, actually. And so a lot of evil people are convincing people to follow them. They're tricking them and lying to them and deceiving them, innocent people. And so this facilitates the destruction because it gets people on the. This is the war. Actually, it's a war over the souls. People. This is okay. This is getting deep.
I like it.
Yeah. This is how it comes. You just kind of bring it out.
Bring it out.
Yeah, I'm really tired too, but I don't care. Don't care.
Don't care. Good.
Yeah. So this is a war. If anybody's seen The Matrix, it's kind of like that movie.
I didn't see.
The machines, the AI took over, and and they were using people as batteries.
Oh.
See, they get energy from people.
Oh.
But this is the demons in the mode of goodness and the mode of and evil. They get energy off of the people. So they're fighting for the people. They're fighting for them to be on their sides. If you notice, it's a war over the masses. So the evil people are trying to get control of the masses. That gives them, they're using energy from them.
I know.
See, they're using like batteries. And the same thing, even the demigods, they need the energy. They need to win the people over to their side so they can, see, they get energy from each other.
No.
See? So when this kind of friction goes on, then the Lord sends his devotees at that time because he wants to teach how to get that energy from God.
Exactly.
See? That's what we do. Go ahead.
We know what happened to me several times, and I'm sure that this happened to maybe all of you. Like you're sleeping and suddenly they paralyze your body and your mouth is open and they're sucking the energy out of you. And then I say on Jesus Christ 3 times, release my body, and they have to do it under universal law. But then I ask Archangel Michael to come and protect me because they can come back. How many times? When I was a teenager, it was more so, but now maybe I protect myself better. But it should have happened to many people. I'm not crazy, right?
No, it happened to me.
It happened, yeah.
And it's not necessarily it's evil either. It's kind of like sometimes when you're astral projecting, that's the first preliminary thing that happens. So like you were having separating from your body, and an astral projection that your body gets
paralysis.
paralyzed.
That's the thing. You see, I found that one time, you know what happened to me? I when I opened my eyes, my mouth was open. I was totally paralyzed, and I saw a big shadow of a woman. big, like 3 meters tall. It
Wow.
was a woman. It had
Wow.
a nose like that, and
Wow.
I had
Putana.
no, honestly.
Witch. It could have been Putana
The
witch.
Puteno. Well, I mean, it was like witch, and I
Yeah.
said it, on Jesus Christ 3 times, and they released my body, and then I went downstairs to look for my dogs. It was in my father's hotel in Brazil, and I looked for all my dogs. So they protect you.
Yeah,
Animals
yeah.
protect you a lot.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible when that happens, right?
Yeah.
It did happen
No.
to me several times.
Well, yeah, not horrible. Not for me because it's astral
Yes.
projection. I
Okay.
used to work to get into those states and stuff, and do this type of stuff.
See, but it's
Sleep.
different. What you're saying to
Yeah.
when you see the wish
Oh yeah,
of
it's
3
different. Yeah,
meters long.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
on,
It's different. Yeah,
totally
yeah,
different.
yeah. It's different.
You see, everyone is saying, I get that. Like sleep paralysis. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. It's
yeah,
exact. Well,
yeah.
thank God I didn't have it for a long time now, many years, and thank God. I think I somehow protect myself better now.
Maybe God's protecting you.
See, and God is protecting me more. I think He always protects me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, where were we? Oh, okay. So the law of nature. Civilization is static unless there is a spiritual movement. The soul moves the body, and the living body moves the world. We are concerned about the body, but we have no knowledge of the spirit that is moving that body. Without the spirit, the body is motionless or dead, of course. The human body is an excellent vehicle by which we can reach eternal life. This is a rare and very important boat for crossing over the ocean of nations,
Ignorance.
all right, which is material existence. On this boat, there is the service of an expert, both human, the spiritual master. There we go. And
Yeah. That's good to
sí, sí.
rediscuss that sentence too. Auspicious. Take the Arctic. Yeah. Yeah. This is not taught in schools. Come on. Get it.
The
Stop that.
leakings are.
Stop the licking.
Vení, ahora, acá,
Yeah.
por favor, basta.
Yeah.
The leaking,
Yeah.
pobrecita.
Yeah, they don't teach this in schools, about that this life is meant for self-realization. So people spend their lives in niches, ignorance of that fact. But that's why the spiritual master and the Vedas, they teach us this higher knowledge and understanding so that we stop wasting our time. Otherwise people think it's just about eating, sleeping,
Yeah.
getting a job and working, having children, and then you live and then you die. But this is an excellent vehicle for realizing who we are and who God is.
Yeah.
That makes our life perfect. And that's when you get into higher feelings and experience too. Your body is earth. Yeah, the body is of the earth. But in that body, it's an ideal temple to realize the truth. Just like people have external temples, they build a temple externally. Well, the temple is actually already built. It's here.
Yeah, it's the body.
Ultimately, it's meant to realize this stuff. So body have changes. Yeah, that's true. All right. So.
Okay. What was I? It's very master. By divine grace, the boat please the water in a favorable wind. With all these auspicious factors, who would not take the opportunity to cross over the ocean of rescience?
Uh,
Re-
Nations,
Nations.
ignorance.
All right. If one neglects this good chance, it should be known that he is simply committing suicide.
Yeah, it's like people think it's suicide of the body, but suicide of the spiritual
I
body.
know.
See, because you don't touch it. You just live your whole life without any awareness of it. And it's the ideal vehicle. It's like we get all this knowledge from the Vedas. even more than the Bible, actually. And knowledge is important to get it from the real spiritual master, because the real spiritual master gives you the spark that ignites your soul, so it develops its spiritual taste for this knowledge. See, and then you can realize it. See, a lot of people, they've been in ISKCON or any of these big mass groups, and for 25, 40 years, and they have very little taste for this spiritual knowledge, because they have very little devotion awakened. They had something, but when you meet the real guru, the living guru, then this begins to, your soul is activated. And then you start to cross over this ocean of nescience, because you get more knowledge that you couldn't get on your own. You couldn't figure it out. I mean, I have people coming here to our classes that studied strictly 25 years and 40 years Prabhupada's books. And this brought them to a whole nother level. Just because that's the way it works. You got to hear this knowledge from a empowered devotee. And then you start to really, you get the attraction. It's spiritual. Your soul begins to be awakened. And then you're attracted. You start to see that this is God. This knowledge is the book. This knowledge is the book incarnation of God in a book form.
Wow.
And you start to really feel it. You get it. You realize, wow, this is the shout. This knowledge is the shout. See? And you didn't realize it before, even though you've been studying it for years. Yeah, this is, Janaki studied the books for 40 years. Now she has a whole different experience of it, because this is how it is. You need a living guru that is empowered with this spark, this taste, and it's communicable. It goes to you. This is coming up to that chapter on the spiritual master. Prabhupada emphasized that. Actually, maybe shut the door. I don't know.
Well, you told me.
Yeah, I did, but things change.
All right. Okay.
The sound now changed the whole situation.
The word and the guy thinks it's not noisy.
Yeah.
He thinks it's not noisy.
Yeah. See, we got to go roll with the moment. See, much better now.
Should I put a light on?
Unless you need it. I don't need it. I don't like those lights.
Okay.
I'd rather have that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we good? Okay. There is certainly a great deal of comfort in the first class coach of a train, but if the train does not move towards its destination, what is the benefit of an air conditioning compartment? Contemporary civilization is much too concerned with making the material body comfortable. No one has information of the real destination of life, which is to go back to Godhead.
Yeah, I mean, that's the treasure. People, they think it's just to be wealthy and have a first-class ticket on an airplane. And they're so proudly sit in a nice big seat, and people walk by. I got on many airplanes, and you go through the first class, you can see a lot of people sitting there like, look at me, I'm first class. And they go through their whole lives and thinking it's all about being first class. But a person who knows the goal of life, even if they're a poor person, they're more rich. They're rich because this is riches. Yeah. This is wealth. Yeah. This knowledge is wealth. Trump doesn't have this knowledge because he needs a guru to get it. Oh. He won't believe in just if this book was given to him and he'd sit there and read it. He needs a living person to inspire him or anybody else to be enrolled into understanding how good these books are, how important these books are, how wonderful this name is, this chanting is. You need somebody alive in a body to show you. Yeah, what is this stuff? Well, I'm going to hold back this how wonderful chanting is because if I have a tear, I'm going to wipe it. I'm just going to chant, because this is what real knowledge is. This is why these guys need gurus in these movements. Like,
But look what Amy says is so true. In the form of Guru,
yeah,
Krishna delivers his
that's right.
his
Well,
devotees.
that's from these books.
Yeah.
She's quoting from them.
Oh, right.
Yeah, see?
That is so true.
Yeah. And where do we there it is. Yeah, so so we need that inspiration of the life. It's like Lord Caitanya said in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He said this mantra doesn't need any initiation. You can just chant it. And then Prabhupada gave a purport. He said, but you need the life.
Yeah.
You need the life of a devotee showing you, otherwise nobody will keep it up. It takes a while to get into it. It takes some purification.
Like I do the chanting every day when I'm go
Yeah.
to a toilet or
Yeah.
have a shower, but it doesn't make the same effect
Mhm.
when I'm doing it with you and have all these people with us.
Yeah,
It doesn't. Yeah, it just changed my mood. I'm happy. All my worries are gone.
Mhm.
They vanished. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Yesterday I couldn't do this.
That's okay. Well, just
I'm sorry.
Hey man, they're not thinking about it.
Yeah.
Why even say because they're not thinking.
I
It's not
know,
even on
but
their
I
mind.
feel guilty.
Why put?
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay. She's sorry that she's sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, what I'm saying, I do feel guilty when I can't, and I try very hard.
She
Honestly,
tries very hard.
I try very hard.
Yeah, but you kind of just
See.
do what you can do.
I couldn't read without the glasses. Ver? Yeah, it's very powerful. I agree.
It's insight on what's going on in the world today and where we are heading. Of course, that's why we talk about these things. God, we discuss this all the time. I love discussing how it relates to the world. Prabhupada's doing that right here. That's one of his wonderful gifts. He makes everything relevant, shows how it's connected with the world. And that's why I love just coming behind him and discussing it more, make it more, bring it out. Like how is this practical for the world? How can Donald J. Trump and Biden benefit for it? Yeah, that's good. I don't hate anybody. I like to see Trump become
It's just uncomfortable, his name to me.
Yeah. You'll get over it.
I know I will. I feel sorry for the whole family, the children and the other children.
He's laughing all the way to bank.
I wonder why people. This is thing that I always. I know they are explaining all of this, but they come with wealth and they're so ignorant.
Yeah, well, everybody needs, whether you're wealthy or you're poor, you need the religious books first, but not on the level of religion. You need the religious books on the level of truth, because that's where they started. See, and then it turned into religion, materially motivated religion, after these conscious, purified persons leave the planet. Not everybody holds up that standard. Prabhupada said, once an acharya leaves, charya is a realized soul. Usually there's havoc unless the disciples are also realized.
I don't understand the slang.
If you don't understand, though, just move on.
Okay, let's move on. See. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we're going to keep on reading, right? Yeah. Where am I?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
No one has information. No. Yeah. No one has information of the real destination of life, which is to go back to Godhead.
Isn't that amazing? People don't have this information. Real information is all about going back to God, going back to the spiritual world. They don't even know who they are. People don't know they're a spirit. They're really spiritual. They don't know that. They think, oh, well, I'm my mind or I'm my body, or they never even think about it. Just tell me what to do, or they're busy controlling others and controlling the weather and controlling the world and controlling this and controlling that, or being controlled. The controllers, and they're controlled. They're into imitating God and imitating God's subjects. See, if you're God's subject, you're not subject to his illusion. This is freedom. See, freedom is in the transcendental Lord. People don't have information about that. That's why I love speaking about these things. I love waking people up. It's they don't have the information about, who they are, where they're really from, um, what life is really about. Um, they don't know that if they could chant this Hare Krishna mantra in ecstasy, their life would be perfect. They would get nothing but benedictions in their life. The threefold miseries would be neutralized. The miseries of the body, the mind. You never have to go to a psychiatrist again or a psychologist. Sometimes even a doctor. The Lord will
Yeah,
show you
he
these
will.
pharmaceutical bullshit
Oh,
guys,
bullshit.
and you
Yeah.
won't be going towards them to get
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
They want you to depend on the Maya. The Maya wants you to
El
depend
ego,
on her.
no?
It's like, Maya is not really, she's bad. She's a bad mother and father, but a blind uncle is better than no uncle. So that's why people, they think, let me depend on these persons who are servants of the Lord's external energy. And those servants say, oh, their hearts are not purified. They got motives, material motives, and they got material desires, and they want to use you as a battery, and they may have to trick you to do it because their motives are not usually desirable. So they got to trick you and deceive you into it. I mean, who wants to be killed? Who wants to be genocided? I mean, do you want to be genocided?
What is genocide?
It means you just wipe out millions of people. I mean, that's what's going on. They want to genocide, depopulate millions of people. Actually, more than that, but I don't want to, like blow people's minds. So that's the plan.
Yeah.
And it is so bad that they have to trick and lie and deceive you into agreeing with it. Because who the heck wants to be killed? Do you want somebody? You got to trick people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's because these people in their minds is they think, well, this is for the good of the world, and
Let's put poison on our bodies, inject it.
Yeah. Well, that's what what they're doing, tricking people. But anyway, this is the Lord protects you from this kind of stuff. The Lord shows you what people's motives are. You can see into their hearts.
Yeah, you can see.
I mean, does me. He shows me a lot of stuff. Protects me. I'm not, not interested. I don't. And see, the thing is, from a real spiritual master and from these books, these transcendental devotional literatures, you can understand how to be in the truth. The truth is clear knowledge, transcendental knowledge. You're in that, and you're protected. And you're in that, and you're ecstatic. Your feelings are transformed into divine emotions, which are very powerful, very purifying. It clears your mind. It clears your consciousness. You become really logical, very convincing. It said, when a person is advanced in devotional service, Majjamadikari becomes that's medium level, awakened. And then there's Uttamadikari, and so Uttamadikaris they're so intelligent, they're so logical, they're so convincing. They can convince people to take to this path. They're like the book, but they take that book and bring it alive before the world. That's Guru. If you're like that, and that's how people get delivered. You get a guru like that, who is advanced in that spiritual knowledge and devotion. See, and they're very convincing because they're a role model. You look, hey man, this person's different than any Joe Blow in the world.
Joe Blow.
Yeah.
And great.
Actually, she was saying that earlier. I said, I'm just this. And she, no, you got something.
I was.
Yeah, she says, "Oh, you're something. You're not just."
Yeah.
Just,
and I would say everyone would agree if I would have heard. Yeah.
See, people don't know this, but when you listen here, you realize with your real eyes. Yeah. It's like Jesus said, only the Father knows the Son, and the Son knows the Father, and the Son can reveal the true nature of Father to who he chooses. So the Father basically chooses you to listen to a madman like this. And if you do, see, then you begin to understand these things that I understand. This is the process. Prahlad taught this. He told his little demoniac classmates, because he heard this knowledge from his guru, and he was in the womb, and he still heard it, and he became realized from this knowledge. And he told his classmates, if you listen to me also, you can also know what I know. You can feel what I feel. See? This is the process, always been. That's why people get the Holy Spirit that were with Jesus, is they heard from him, and then because they got purified by hearing, this process, hearing, and then the Spirit awoke in them. The spirit, same Spirit that was in Jesus. So I was telling you, this you'll have the same thing. You know? See, that's what it's all about, man. Yeah. A lot of people think, well, it's all about, Prabhupada's the next Acharya, the only Acharya for 10,000 years, and then in 10,000 years you're going to see him again, and you're going to be a peon.
No.
No. He wants you to be an Acharya too, and you can. I mean, we're making Acharyas here now. People are getting these wonderful results, in just being in this association. Yeah, it's amazing. There you go.
Where are we? There is no ultimate benefit in making the material body comfortable at the expense of forgetting the prime necessity of life, which is to regain our lost spiritual identity, the boat of human life.
How can you regain your lost spiritual identity from gurus and teachers who have not regained their own lost spiritual identity? See, this is the thing. This is the blind leading the blind. You're blind until your spiritual identity is awakened. See, and that's, if you come to Krishna consciousness movement, the idea is to get Krishna. But getting Krishna is, you have to be awakened spiritually to recognize Krishna. That means you have to have devotion. So most people don't. It's such a high state. So the Lord, out of mercy, gives you a bona fide spiritual master who has such devotion. Their spirit is awakened. See, and they provide the spark, and they provide the purification. See, they're like Jesus said, I'm the true vine and my Father is the gardener. When you find a real guru, they're a true vine or branch on that spiritual tree. And through them, you connect to the trunk, which is the Lord.
Exactly.
See? Yeah, and only through those persons. They have to be a real branch. Otherwise, you got the false followers, the false branches, the dry branches. And people can't tell a dry branch because they never met a juicy branch. This is the problem.
Yeah.
That's why the Prabhupada disciples, when Prabhupada left, the leaders who weren't really clean in their heart, to be quite honest with you all, and if you can't take it too bad, go and follow those blind dudes, man. They weren't clear in their heart. You know what they did? They got rid of the Prabhupada disciples because they knew who had real life. And if you get rid of them, they can't go out and spoil your trip. See? Then you get all these new people who don't know what real life is.
Yeah.
See, they don't know what a real spiritual person that's awakened, who knows their relationship with God is. See, so therefore they can promote whatever they want to promote. They can promote their mundaneness as transcendental, or something in the mode of nature, goodness, passion, or ignorance, and say this is spiritual, and that's what people do. Even in the New Age, most people, it's so rare to find somebody who knows what is spirit. People in the New Age, they only know celestial things at best. Yeah, they only know, what's going on in heaven, maybe to some extent. And there's speculation. They think that's spiritual. That's still not spiritual. That's still going on within the universe. What's spiritual is happening outside of this whole universal covering. It's like an egg, filled with these like coverings. And that's covering the soul. And to know who you are, you have to get through these coverings, and they're very thick. Bhagavad Gita will teach all this. We'll read all this,
Yes.
how thick these coverings are. And when you hear how thick they are, you see, man, I definitely would need somebody to help me.
Yeah, absolutely.
The coverings, like you were at the point you said, there's no,
Yeah,
I was stuck.
I was stuck. I
Everybody's
was so stuck.
yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, and when you're ready to listen, the Lord sends you the
Yeah,
real
they do.
teacher
Yeah.
who is
Amazing.
not. They're not stuck. They're in their spiritual body.
Mhm.
See, and they help you activate yours so that you can quickly. Otherwise, you can go so many lifetimes.
No, quickly. But I went through hell and back in these
Yeah.
4 years. It was like amazing. I just couldn't find a understanding why I was getting so stuck. It
Yeah,
was
because you can't do it on your own.
it was
Yeah,
amazing.
you need help.
I needed
Yeah.
it so badly.
That's the thing, and see, you're in a better position, even though you didn't study like a lot of these
No, I
Krishna
didn't.
devotees for 40, 50 years,
Mm.
because they still don't think they need any help. They think, a lot of them think they're real gurus and they're fine on their own, but they're as blind as bats. And
Yes, I probably brought it in my cell thingy.
yeah,
memory
well,
or
yeah,
something.
you're bringing, probably from your past lives.
Yeah, because, but to open myself to this,
Mm.
I went through 4 years of
Mhm.
living hell.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I imagine.
So I was very stubborn.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are. That's stubbornness, and so the Lord helped you with that. So
Yeah,
now you're open.
thank God.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I mean, I was.
Mm. Mm. Read this.
Okay. Ramananda
Roy.
concluded the unfortunate empiric philosophers taste the dry process of philosophical knowledge, whereas I don't know how
Whereas,
oh no,
it's all right. I
hold
got
on,
it.
where did it go?
Whereas,
The devotees regularly drink the nectar of love of Krishna. Therefore, they are most fortunate of all. Oh.
yeah. See, scholars, all they can do. Watch this little thing.
I'm sorry.
Here. It's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, just this. Yeah. The unfortunate scholars, they can only taste the taste knowledge, and they can't taste this ecstatic worship. See, because the best knowledge comes from this ecstatic worship. If you can't taste this ecstatic worship of Krishna, these mellows, then your knowledge is superficial. It's just study knowledge, like you go to school and they teach you how to memorize stuff. Isn't that what they do in Krishna consciousness? They teach you how to memorize verses. And you go around memorizing like a parrot. And it impresses beginners. Beginners say, whoa, this person's a pure devotee. Look at it. They quote it like quote these verses. They memorize those. Boy, because we're trained in school that's real learning. It's no. Real learning is to taste these names. Taste the Krishna mantra. To taste these verses.
Yeah.
They're full of bliss and ecstasy. Yeah. So anyway, the devotees. And so that's what we're here to do, is show the glories of this devotional way.
I love these teachings. However, I can't ignore the teachings in the scripts, especially how Revelation chapter 13 is unfolding in the world today, plus many more passages that seem to be happening, like the birth pranks of
The Messiah.
Messiah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You can't. I talk all about these things going on here. There's no, it's like that. What you hear out there is real beginner stuff. It's not the full thing. They think they talk about the birth pangs of the Messiah coming. It's all external. The birth pangs of the Messiah. You're right. Yeah, birth pangs of the Messiah are the Messiah in you. That's how the Lord comes. That's how you're saved. You're saved. You're saved by this bona fide spiritual master, not by some Jesus coming in some cloud idea. You see, it's always outside. Jesus has to come from outside in some cloud. and with long flowing hair, or what other speculations you have what he looks like. Because if he doesn't come the way you perceive him, like if he's coming in the cloud, he has to have long flowing hair. Because if he comes bald or something, or looking like a Krishna devotee or a Buddhist, or you won't recognize him. Okay? So this is external. This is for beginners. The Lord has already come here. He's come inside certain persons' first fruits, just like he came. What do you think he came? He came, right, as Jesus. And Jesus told the disciples, he said, the Spirit of the Lord is outside you. That was him.
Yeah.
And he's going to be inside you. See, that's the whole point of his coming, is so to awaken that spirit in you. And even the disciples, they had so much of that, they still weren't clear about it. It's not easy. It takes, sometimes generations. And so anyway, Lord Caitanya came. We have deeper understanding. If you really want to be saved, better to meet a bona fide spiritual master and get this knowledge, and you be delivered. It doesn't matter what they do to your body. You know who you are. You know where you're from.
Yeah.
You know where you're going. Your spiritual body's awakened. You're developing that here. You make as much development as you do. What kind of savior do you need now? See, the spiritual master is the savior. Just like Jesus was a bona fide spiritual master for his disciples. They were saved because they listened to him. It's always the same process. Here, it's a little better because people are saved also, but you have deeper knowledge. They weren't clear about that. They thought Jesus was going to come again in some form, which he never did. They thought it was going to be in their generation. See, because they were not clear about, he did say he was going to come again. He's going to come in the spirit, and he did. He came within them, and that's their inconclusiveness. See, so like you say, this is the thing, you say you can't ignore what they say. Well, that's all neophyte. To me, that's beginner stuff. This is the clear thing. And when you're in this here, you don't need to fight all that stuff out there. You don't have to go and go out in war with the demons. This is the best way to win. Teach them truth, man. That's what Prahlad did. We follow in the footsteps, devotees. I have a guide also. I have Prabhupada's books. I have these histories of when these things have happened before. Then there was a devotee like Prahlad. See, we got the role model of what to do in these kind of situations. And it's not with these demigod types or these good fighting evil and evil fighting good. See, that is material speculations and misconceptions and all that. But anyway, people do what they're going to do. They're of whatever level of consciousness they are. I'm here to preach the essence of truth. I'm here to preach about devotional service, teach that, teach how to realize the ultimate truth. And you don't have to be waiting for any Jesus in a cloud. Because I tell you, once you get this inside, you won't be even thinking about that. Why? You'll be so satisfied with that Jesus within you, that Christ within you, and you won't feel like it's going to come. When is it going to come? In other words, you're not really deeply connected yet.
Yeah.
If you want to be deeply connected, anybody out there, you come here, you'll be deeply connected. You won't even be thinking about, Jesus coming in the clouds. He'll be in you. That was his whole purpose. And we'll just make it even more clear, because even the Christians are not so clear about this, even the ecstatic ones. Some are. Okay? So here it's all internalized. There's no out there anymore. It's all inside. Feel God. Feel close to the Lord. When you feel this close spiritual closeness with God, full satisfaction, full perfection, nothing else. You don't have to wait for this cloud thing and Jesus in the clouds to save everybody. You're already saved, and you can save others. You just preach the real word, man, the inspired word of God, and you have these wonderful books to back you up. Anybody convinced here of this preaching, which is very clear, very logical, you'll be saved. Faster than waiting for Jesus in some cloud at that time. This is the way to do it. This is conclusive. This is the fast path. Otherwise, you'll associate with Christians who are all still external, still more neophyte, thinking about that kind of stuff. Okay, read this. Let me get some water first.
I finally experienced some of the transcendental bliss I experienced in my youth just earlier while you guys were chanting and I was reading Ragazine issue 1. I don't know.
Let me see. Ragazine.
Ragazine.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
No.
Okay.
Just misspelling.
Okay. It's a weapon of mass divinity, like Govinda Das says. Govinda.
Yeah.
Govinda.
Yeah.
Brought tears to my eyes. It's
Also perfect.
It's also perfect.
See what Ray says.
We are heading towards a system that clearly explain it gets what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right. Amen. Halloween. No. Hallelujah. Perdón. What I mean. Hallelujah. But I think they're trying to bring in the system of the beast as we speak.
Yeah, and so your best protection actually from that is to become God conscious.
Yeah.
See, you can spend your energy trying to fight it externally, or you can spend your energy fighting this in the way that you'll win.
Yeah.
You'll win your soul back because it takes energy. I could also say, I think I'll go and I'll side with David Icke and I'll go out and protest. And I'll go out and go and make a big show. I'll go on Facebook and just tell blah blah blah, and all this stuff. I could fight all these things, and that takes energy and time. Or I can do what I'm here to do, and that's why I do this. I'm here to help people become because time may be short. So you come here, you'll counteract the threefold miseries better because the Maya will leave you alone. The Maya is actually a servant of the Lord. All this stuff going on here, even though it's demoniac and it's negative and it's destructive, it's still part of the will of the Lord.
Yeah.
And you start to see that. Therefore, that's why Jesus even said, these Christians say, oh, let's fight this and all this. But what did Jesus say? Resist not evil.
Yeah.
And what did Jesus do? Did you see him? That's the thing. Barabbas come to him and he says, hey, we got to go. We got to go and fight these Romans, man. You're the king. You got to be the king. We got to install you. See, all external. And Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this world. See? It's the same thing. Hey, the kingdom I belong to is not of this world. It's outside this whole universe. Yeah. See? And the universe gets purified just by bringing that realization here. Because everybody is not from this universe.
Mm.
Yeah, you can turn the light on now.
Okay. Should I turn this or that one? So
Which is the best? Yeah, that one over there, I think. Right.
Stand up, sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay,
So everybody is
this one?
the one over there. Yeah, everyone is not of this universe. So the thing is, you become as good as the guru. Yes, good. Yeah, you become as good as the guru by being with such a guru. That's the whole point, is so that you also have, my students, I just see what happens. My students have spiritual experiences like I do. Many of my students, they relish transcendental mellows like I do. Now that's pretty good. They're not peons. They have the same Lord that's inside my heart. It's awakened in them. Many of my students are worshipable by any intelligent person because the Lord that's in me is also in them. Whoever the Lord chooses to stay in the temple, that's where you're worshiping. That's where you recognize. It's like, and a lot of people say, man, God is also in me too. See? Yeah, God is, but you're not aware of it. You identify with the false ego. When the Lord gives his realization of who he is and resides in a living temple of somebody, that person knows the Lord. See? That person is more important than a person that is identifying with the false ego. Even the Lord is dormantly inside him, in them. See? So Shiva taught this lesson. He says, he wouldn't stand up for Daksha as to teach them. He said, yeah, why should I stand up and give honor to somebody who identifies with a false ego? If I pay obeisances to somebody like that, I pay obeisances to the super soul. See, the super soul is within everybody.
Right.
Stop your licking. Get out of there. Stop that.
I know. Just giving you kisses.
Yeah, I know.
Pobre.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
Pobrecito.
Yeah.
She doesn't know.
I don't need a shower anymore.
Oh, pobre. Okay, so.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay. See what else we got here.
Okay, true Christianity here. Praise Krishna, Christ. Okay, I printed 15 copies today and distributed one. And again, CC
Majalila.
Okay, 12.68. From then on, the fortunate prince was one of the most intimate devotees of the Lord. Purport is a person is actually blessed by the mercy of the Lord. He can immediately become
topmost devotee. Oops. Here, I'll do that.
Topmost devotees of the Lord. This was all made possible by causeless mercy of the Lord.
Causeless mercy of the Lord.
Causeless mercy of the Lord. The Lord is omnipotent, all powerful, almighty, and he can act as he likes.
Yeah, and to explain that a little bit more. Oops.
Oh, you will explain.
Yeah, to explain this a little bit more. Okay. So this is from a story in the Madhya Lila where this prince was embraced by the Lord, and he got the transcendental symptoms awakened in him. And so that's a symptom of becoming an intimate associate of the Lord. The Lord gives you himself. See, intimacy. The Lord, and you become ecstatic because of the Lord's intimate closeness to you. That's why I say, when I see my disciples have ecstatic experiences when they taste and chant the holy name and they laugh, they cry, and all these things, this is a symptom of the Lord giving himself to them, become their intimate associates of the Lord. They know what the Lord is. They know how that is because their spirit is awakened and they're communing with the Supreme Spirit. This is a very confidential thing, a very intimate thing. And the Lord wants to give this to others. Yet it is so confidential and so intimate and so rare that the only place to get it is with those who are already awakened to it. And that's here. You can go in all the sanghas, in the Gaudiya Math, Gaudiya Samiti, and you will rarely see anybody that has this intimacy. Because if you have an intimacy, it'll follow along this verse. When that prince was embraced by the Lord, he started to tremble and choke, and the tears were pouring from his eyes. He got the mercy of the Lord, became a confidential associate. People don't know that's the real standard because they don't see that in the Gaudiya Samiti. They don't see that in the Gaudiya Math. They don't see that in ISKCON. They only see it here. See? That's why I call everybody's attention to the truth. Attention. See? Put your attention on the truth instead of the illusionists. They're trying to put your attention on illusions and checklists, everything that's not about this. Why not put your attention on this? You have devotees who are intimate associates of the Lord right here in this Sangha, and they're your door into Vrindavan. There is no other door. Okay? That's the door to Vrindavan. Okay? So this is what I'm just teaching the verses as they are. Why? Because the only way you can learn this is from a devotee who does tremble and choke up and chant in ecstasy with the tears and can prove it and show you these things. Therefore, they can say these things from realization and revelation as they are, that this is the real path. If anybody's teaching anything else, they're teaching you the long road back to Godhead, many lifetimes. This is very short because I just call everybody's attention to the highest verses and show you what they look like. And even my students who have faith in this preaching, which is very powerful, the Lord is accepting them and proving it. You know, that's the bottom line. You looking for a guru or somebody to lead you to the kingdom? Well, look at where the fruits, by their fruits they shall be known. See, we got a lot of fruits here, fruits of ecstatic devotion. That's what the Hare Krishna movement's all about. It's always been all about that, is to get the mercy of Lord Caitanya. And that mercy is ecstatic devotion. And that's here. And nowhere else I've seen it. Prove me wrong. Nobody does. I keep saying, prove me wrong, prove me wrong. Show me something, show me something. Hey, you Gaudiya, meet Samitis and all that. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Still, it's nothing. Yeah, that's what I'm the same verse. Yeah. So that's the was Shiva not a destroyer? Shiva. That's one of his jobs. He he's very powerful. Yeah, and he can destroy things, and people actually has different. He's actually a very confidential servant of the Lord, but he actually has a lot of demons as his followers. He's kind of like Lucifer. That's his external idea. People that are interested in the body, into like hedonism and stuff like that. They usually worship Lucifer or Shiva.
They worship Lucifer.
Yeah, Lucifer or Shiva. Shiva. Now that's just another word for that same thing, mode of ignorance. So Lucifer is full of darkness, and so is Shiva. I mean, that's one of his things. Even though he's a confidential servant of the Lord, just like Lucifer. Lucifer had conversations with God in the Bible. With that Job thing.
Yeah.
What is that? I mean, how can he's sitting there talking to God? Do we talk to God? Well, I do actually, but how many people really talk to God? They really know the language of the Lord, and revelation and stuff like that. Well, Lucifer did. It shows you there's something there that most people don't understand. But if you come in this line, you can understand all these things because we have all that knowledge here. You can understand that. You can start to realize these things. You could see Lucifer working through people. You can see how he works, how he actually indirectly glorifies God. You can see all kinds of amazing things. Yeah. It's very deep stuff here. This is so deep, and I love it, man. I come here every day because it just more things just come deeper and deeper and deeper. It's just amazing. Especially the mornings are the best. I'm just kind of tired now. Mornings, oh man, it's amazing. Okay, so
4 a.m. morning.
Yeah, the early mornings.
That's one needs to hear on the bed.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we'll stop here. That's probably good enough. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're gonna say good night, and gotta rest up here. Hare Krishna,
Hare
everybody.
Krishna, and thank you.